risk appetite in the American investor is second to none. You will find normal people who have some extra cash and they are willing to be angel investors.
Welcome to the Alphapreneurs podcast. I'm your host, Rayhan Aleem, founder of Taxstar and Alpha Pro Partners. Join me on each episode as we talk to inspiring Dubai-based entrepreneurs who share their stories, challenges, and secrets on building world-class businesses. I'm excited to have Malek on the show today. Malek runs an international management consultancy practice with over 25 years of experience advising startups, large corporates, and government entities. Malek is also a mentor for startup founders both in Silicon Valley and in the UAE. His expertise covers everything from emerging technologies such as AI and blockchain to improving workforce productivity. Malek, thank you very much for joining our show today. Very excited and pleased to have you here all the way from California. I want to start, I know you come to and fro California and Dubai quite a lot. And, you've been here quite some time. And so you've seen, probably this place where we're recording being a desert. And so what I'm really interested to know is, you first came here, you set up your own business a long time ago. And not only is your business, successful, but you was able to kind of work with large governments and big corporates as well, which, when you set up your business for the first time, it's not easy to get to. Can you tell us about your experiences when you came to Dubai? How did you find it? Were you one of the entrepreneurs who said, I'm only going to be here for 2 years and then I'm going to go back? How was it for you?
To give you a little bit of background story, I have been born and raised in Beirut, Lebanon. And unfortunately, because of the situation of my country, when I left, I said, I cannot go back. I need to rebuild what I had in a new destination, and I have no choice. So I had to burn the ship that got me here. So when I landed in Dubai, Dubai was a jungle. 2005, my first visit. I started my company in 2006. Any person who used to be in Dubai these days can tell you it was totally different scenery. It was a gold rush. Everyone from around the world is coming here to make a lot of money. There was the good, the bad, and the ugly. The real estate market was something phenomenal. Never witnessed before something like that. It was enough for you to show up in any meeting and say, hey, we can do this work for you to get directly hired. The scale of spending from the government was crazy. A lot of companies on weekly basis were opening shop in Dubai, and they need somebody to help. There was a lot of things. Even back then in 2007, I guess, Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai, said something which it took me a bit to understand. He said, if you are not making crazy money in Dubai right now, then you are doing something fundamentally wrong. Of course, he said it in his own words, but this is what he was saying. And I only realized that after the crisis, the golden days of Dubai, 2006, 2007, 2008, were a golden opportunity for anyone to build their business at that time. So it didn't make me rich, but it was this wave which took me from zero, nothing, just showing up in Dubai with literally just 25,000 dirhams, everything I had, and to start this company and build it. So the potential and the momentum was in Dubai was nothing you can witness easily in your lifetime. We started the company and we started taking some contracts which were not usual to take in a normal entrepreneurial trip, and we grew from there. Yeah.
When you mentioned that you came here back in 2005 and 6, and you mentioned the fact that you could pitch a lot of any work and you can pretty much win it. the contrast now is completely different. Now,
Totally, yeah. It's a totally different number.
Yeah, I mean, Dubai now is very mature.
Yep.
And I would say right now, Dubai is actually doing very well for itself, but in a different way, in a more mature way.
Yeah.
How do you see the differences between then and now? I know there was a bit of a dip in between, but now, for example, population is going through the roof. Real estate is really hot. Lots of people coming in here. A lot of people coming from the UK. I think it's like the top 5 cities where millionaires are relocating, for example. How do you see the differences of now compared to then in terms of the opportunities?
Yeah. So back then, the main driver of the economy was the mega project and the spending which the government's doing. Dubai mainly, then Abu Dhabi, a little bit the federal government, and then the other Emirates. Your ability to make business is to sit in the value chain of what the government is doing. So think of it as a fountain. If you are a big guy, one of the big guys with either good relations or with huge capabilities, you will go and sit at the top of the fountain. But even if not, you will be maybe the second row or the third or the fourth or the fifth. But there was a lot of money, a lot of projects. They needed everyone. It was easier relatively to go into somewhere in this value chain, make some relation with the government. They needed people to work. They needed people who were motivated enough and hard workers who can deliver to work for them. If you were there at the right time, it was easier, first of all, to knock the door of this government organization. It was easier for you to meet some decision maker. There was a lot of money, a lot of spending. There was a huge sense of urgency. So if you said, I can deliver this to you in the time you want, the price is a secondary thing. So these days are over. Government already have spent what they need to spend to build the infrastructure. They became much, much, much better in managing larger projects for much less costs. They know how to manage their costs. They build expertise, which they didn't have before. So even they are still doing some mega projects, but they are doing with fraction of the cost they used to do. And they cut all the unnecessarily costs, which were bringing business to people. So, and they have a lot of internal capabilities. Time passed and the demographic of Dubai changed. Back then, it was the huge companies, the companies who were supporting these mega projects and the government spending, and it was easier for you to penetrate. Today, it's very difficult for any newcomer to Dubai to even reach any decision maker of the government people or Emiratis or wealthy people. They already have built layers and layers of things. So this is the first thing. The type of spending the government is doing is different. They are now very focused on what they are spending and very mature in cost management. Number 3, a lot of Emiratis have built their capabilities. So you need to find what they are missing. Don't compete with Emiratis. Number 4, the economy of Dubai is, although mega projects and government spending is still a part of it, but also the huge amount of people and small company which entered the market has grown as contribution to the economy in such a way that if you are a new entrepreneur, my advice, except if you have something really, really special, or you are tapping into a new technology or a new business model which is not there and very beneficial to the government, forget about the government project. Look at the new demographics of Dubai. All of these small companies and people who are relocating from other parts of the world, and what they are doing, what type of businesses are coming to Dubai, and what type of services you need to offer them. For example, Alphapreneurs is a perfect example. it was a brilliant idea for you to come and set up your accounting services firm and tax service firm to serve all of these smaller businesses who don't understand the taxation and the accounting system in Dubai, and they need somebody to take the heavy lifting from them. This is, in my opinion, a perfect example. You are talking to the new demographics in Dubai. You are talking to the new type of businesses coming to Dubai. Of course, if you have big money, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You can come and you can contribute to some larger businesses. You can set a shop here to serve other parts of the world, and you will make the most benefit out of Dubai if your business model of your services are not limited to Dubai. You need to understand that Dubai is a hub city. It's not a large economy by itself to serve only internally. You need to benefit from what Dubai has established itself as a position. Look at Emirates. Emirates are headquarters here, but they are serving the whole world.
Yeah.
If you draw a 4-hour flight radius in Dubai, or even 8 hours flight, you will not find another hub city around. The nearest to the east are Singapore and Hong Kong. The nearest to the west is maybe London.
Yeah.
And if you go south to Africa, you will find none. Even Johannesburg, it's not anymore or Cape Town. Yeah.
But one of the things I want to touch upon is, you mentioned, the differences between then and now is, now you have to be a bit more smart in your business model.
Yep.
You have to be a bit more in your execution. You got to be a lot more sharp. I guess back in 2005, 2006, you probably didn't have to have a really good execution strategy, right? But I think one of the things that entrepreneurs need to really think about before they start a business is, they don't need to have everything. They don't need to be the best marketers. They don't need to have the best, product or the best audience, but they need to have 2 or 3 key things that are really, really deep in terms of their, capabilities. So, for example, there might be, we have a number of clients, and sometimes the clients that we have, they're very, very successful, but that's because, they used to be an influencer, for example. And so they know how to sell a product to the market. So they're very good at that. They're not good at finance. They're not good at, HR, probably not good at operations, but they're very good at that one little thing. And they go very deep into that. And that's what makes them successful. And I think nowadays, they need to, if you are going to set up a business, you do need to, I think you have to be very deep in the pillars that you are good at. The other thing I also want to touch upon is, you mentioned the fact that, yes, you didn't have to be the great executor, but network was important. And I think we've spoken about this in other episodes as well. And, the term network is your net worth. Doesn't matter if you're in a boom or a bust or in another cycle, your network is very important. What kind of tips, and you obviously have got a good network. So what kind of tips, what do you do to kind of keep your network going? How did you build your network when you first came? Because you came, as you mentioned, you left Beirut, you burnt your ship, and there was no going back. So you had to make it happen, right? How did you go about building your network?
Okay, so what worked then will not work today, but I'll give a glimpse and then explain what I think will work today. So back then, obviously, social media was not as strong as today.
Yeah.
In-person networking events and conferences and exhibitions, etc., were the key thing. And I used to spend a lot of time and have tons of business cards, go and speak with people and tell them about what we do, try to understand their pains, and tell them we can do it. We can do it for you. It took me a lot of time to build a good network. And back then, people who are coming from the government and larger organization, they need help, but they will not trust you from day one. They will ask you to do a lot of things for them, small things. In some cases, they want to test you. They will ask you for free services or things that they ask you for a proposal and ask you to come present it, just to see how you need to keep going. You need to keep going until they give you the first contract. It was not an easy thing, especially me showing up without any previous reference in Dubai or like a global name or a brand. The days of in-person networking and working closely with people so they can let you in, I cannot say it's over, but it will be much slower today. So as an entrepreneur, your time is the most important thing. What is so you need to find a way. In today's economy, presenting yourself as an expert in what you do is a key thing, based on what you are offering. If you are selling product or service, or who is your customer segment, etc., presenting that you have a solution for a specific pain, a service for a specific area of interest, or whatever you are doing, you need to show expertise in that. Either talk about the pain you are solving, and your product will come as a secondary thing, or address some concerns or interests or pain points for your customer segments. So if you don't want to make your position in the market as just a salesperson, look at your customer segment. Who am I targeting? What product or service or solution I'm selling? And what are the pains of this customer segment that I can talk about? I can present some free advice. I can solve problems. And then this customer segment will recognize your expertise and come asking for help or buying your product or whatever. And
that's very similar to what you did back in 2005, right? 2006, where you mentioned that to build your name, you had to kind of give free service or give, go out to.
Exactly.
I'm sure back you didn't have Uber or Careem, right? So you had to find a taxi. I came a few times, and finding taxis back in those days were very difficult.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
You had to get a taxi, you had to go to the government office, present. And so what you're saying right now is very, very similar to a similar concept, not the same execution, in the sense that you've got to give free advice. You've got to, give information, give the secret sauce, not be afraid to do that. But you know that you can implement it better than them. And that's why they're coming to you, basically, to help you with that problem.
Exactly. Dubai today is different. There's a lot of competition. A lot of people came, they set shop here, and either they are people who have been here forever and seeing these newcomers with these new ideas, and they have some doubt, a question mark about them, or themselves are newcomers and they don't know what service to go for and what. So the only way for you to get new customers and make people to trust you is to give it upfront. Let them have a taste and what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And then they will come to you.
So Malek, one of the things that I think is important for entrepreneurs, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes, is I believe, if you're setting out as an entrepreneur for the first time, you're setting up a business, you need mentors and coaches as well. I have the pleasure of having you as my mentor. So we have our monthly sessions, which I really enjoyed. We've been working together for, I think, 2 years now. So Thank you. But more importantly, what, in your opinion, what do you see is important as a mentor? Why do you think that's important for entrepreneurs? And there's also the coaching element as well. So the difference between mentors and coaches. But if we start off with the mentors, why would you encourage a new entrepreneur, in your opinion, to have mentors from the very beginning?
Okay, so all of us as humans have a blind spot. We get attached to seeing things in a certain way and operating a certain way, and even if you are not aware of it or deny it, you always there is something in your personality or in the way you think that will make you skip some obvious stuff and jump into some actions or decisions or conclusions without taking into consideration other points of views, or maybe skipping something essential for success for you. The mentor should be your sounding board, the person who, without the same level of emotions you have related to your work, to your employees, to your product, to your ideas, come and help you see other possibilities. If you have a blind spot, your mentor should help you see it. If you are about to make a decision you are very, very excited to do, your mentor sometimes should tell you stop. I had two co-founders which came for me, and they were about to launch their startup in Saudi, and they offered they gave me the idea, and I told them, don't go. It will not work. If you want to work it to work, it need to be done in such and such and such. They didn't see what I'm trying. They continued coming back to me arguing that no, it will work. We saw this, we saw that, and I had to put them into a trajectory to help them verify their thinking. That okay, I will not argue yet more, but let us go to the next step. The next step, if you talking to investors, what the investor will need, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let us do that. Okay, he will ask you 1, 2, 3. How you will respond? We will answer. Okay, you are set. Go to and speak to your investor, and they did, and they found that the investors were not. They were not as motivated as them. And after trying that multiple times, they came back to me, said, okay, let us work on the business idea and reshape it to fit the Saudi market. So the mentor is a person who help you see your blind spots, see what you are missing, help you think of things which you didn't, and help you take decisions without the emotional layers. And ideally, your mentor should be ahead of you in a certain trajectory to tell you what will come next. So you are working on a new technology product, and you are very focused on what features, what functionalities I need to put in this product, what an MVP look like. And then I'll tell you, hey, have you thought for you to go to market strategy? Have you thought of who are the first customer segment you need to tap? And are you building your MVP to fit the first landing point in your market or not? And then he's, okay, I haven't thought of that yet. I'm focusing on, okay, slow down. Let us focus on this. And then what will happen next, how you scale it, when you need to put investors in a place, etc. So ideally, the mentor should help you think ahead. And there will never be one mentor for your lifetime, because you only need the mentor who have been ahead of you for a few steps, not a lot. Okay, once you pass these steps, except if your mentor is growing as fast as you and can always take you to the next level, you need to recognize the time to switch the mentor to fit the second phase of your growth. The coach, you will get multiple definition of what a coach is based on who you ask and how you ask it. But in a simple manner, a coach is a person you hire to improve a certain set of skill. Like, for example, I'm lacking in my presentation skills. I need a presentation skill coach to come and help me to take to the next level. I like tennis, but I suck at it, and I need to hire a tennis coach to get me to the next level. So coach is more focused on a certain set of skills that help you to move forward. And some people who work in as a life coaches have a little bit different focus, in which they try to help you take the whatever obstacles.
Wake up at 5 a.m.
Something like that. But it's different than a mentor.
You moved obviously to Silicon Valley, to California, and you travel to UAE quite often. You have business here, and you have clients here as well. But you also look after and advise startups, not just in California, but here as well. I have a startup as well, Taxstar. And, me as an entrepreneur, I'd be very selfish to want to know more about how does the ecosystem differ between the UAE and California. I know, for example, what I've been told, liquidity is a lot easier in, say, California than the UAE in terms of raising funds. But what other things do you see that are different? And, I feel like more and more good talent is coming out here. We are really getting some good startups in the UAE. What's your kind of insights that you can give us?
The ecosystem we have in Silicon Valley is very, very, very hard to replicate elsewhere. There's a lot of factors, but I'll choose 4 which are critical. The first and foremost is investors' mindset. I'll talk about it in a bit. Second, supporting ecosystem. Number 3, access to talent. Number 4, the merger and acquisition environment. These are things which you cannot replicate even with whatever. First of all, investor mindset. The risk appetite in the American investor is second to none. You will find normal people who have some extra cash, and they are willing to be angel investors and put money into startups, knowing that most probably they will lose it. You will have...
And some of these startups not even revenue generating.
Yep.
And it's based on an idea.
In every medium to major city, in major cities, you will find dozens of angel groups. And even small towns, you will find an angel group. So people who come and they look at startups and they decide to invest. There is a culture. There's a culture, and the investor mindset is we are fine to go into high risk investment because they have a lot of success stories before, and they know that one day they will hit a success. So when it is normal to meet people in California that will tell you, I started as a small investor in a company which has been sold later for $350 million. So this is it. It is easy, and you will meet this person easily. You will find a lot of stories. It will help people to have a strong risk appetite. This is the first thing. The mindset is different. Wherever you go the world, you will not find it.
Even London.
And
I was born and raised in London, and even there, there was when I was there, fintech was emerging as a ecosystem, because obviously all the banks and investment managers and hedge funds are based out there. But I never felt that you would find, or you knew lots of people, as you said, in the US, who are willing to invest in ideas, basically, and the founders. So yeah, 100%. I relate.
Yeah.
I relate to that as well.
Yeah. So this is the first thing. The second thing is access to talent. You have no problem in finding whatever type of talent you want. Everyone is in California. Everyone is willing to come to California, and it's easy to find the right talent if you are looking for software developer, customer success person, people coming from a specific industry, sales, marketing, you will find a lot of talent. There's no problem with that.
I feel like Dubai is starting to attract more good talent.
Yeah.
Not like before, as you said, people would just come to Dubai and they'll just look for a job, and they probably did an internship in, like, I don't know, tech firm, or they developed a little bit of code, back in their home country, right? But they weren't really like engineers or customer success or salespeople, really had that software experience. So I feel as if that is, we're obviously not nowhere near as close to Silicon Valley, but I think we're starting to get there.
So it's relative. So California they have salary second to none. The salaries there are crazy. The lowest hourly rate, I guess, it's $16 or $17. It's crazy. There's no other place in the world with this. So if you are working at McDonald's, the pizza press. My youngest work in a pizza place was $16 or $17. It's crazy. This is what equal to a week salary in some other countries. In an hour. So the salary thing is crazy. It attracts best talent, and having a Silicon Valley company on your resume is a big thing. Dubai, relatively speaking, in the region, yes, it is attracting. It is a good attraction of talent. Plus the work permit process is relatively easy in Dubai in comparison to any other place in the world. In America now, it's a pain to get any person on
Europe as well.
So this is a key thing. It allowed, but from a salary perspective, they are very far from California, even far from EU and UK. Certainly for the region, they are the best talent pool around. So the talent thing is amazing. If you are building a tech product, you need the best marketer around to help you. You need the best product manager. You need someone specialized in the line, in the segment, in the type of product, and you will find it there. Elsewhere in the world, you need to struggle. You need to build it. You need to compromise. So this is the second thing: access to talent. The third thing is the full ecosystem that's supported, starting from schools and universities, in every school in California you find a Shark Tank club. In every college, in every university, there is a venture competition. There is a entrepreneurship club. There is all not major, all medium and up colleges and university have an angel investment club for their alumni investing in. So from the education level, from the schools and university, it starts there. Then once you step up, in every community, there is an incubator, an accelerator, which help and encourage entrepreneurs. Government programs, the SBA, the Small Business Administration, they give free money to companies which are starting. They have free advice in some areas. If you want to hire a biotech or a pharma expert to tell you how you can get your pharma product or biotech product approved by the FDA, you are talking about people with $1,000 per hour advisory cost. SBA provide you those people for free.
Wow.
So this is the first layer of ecosystem. The second layer of ecosystem, you have an army of professional service provider who are focused only on tech tech startups. Like me, I work only with tech startups in California, but you find a lot of other people, product specialists, legal advisors, accountants, tax advisors, all sorts of professional services who are specialized only to serve tech startups, and you will have massive amount of events. Just spend a week in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, and you will know what I'm talking about, or even LA and San Diego. You will find a lot of events and networking just for the tech startup space. Wherever you are coming in this value chain, you will find something for you. So the whole ecosystem, this is not because a government decided to start a program. It is because decades of people and communities and professionals coming together and do them. And so this is a third thing. This ecosystem cannot be easily replicated. It has been built, and it is Silicon Valley or California in general is well positioned. Number 4, which is, I might argue that maybe it's most important because it is giving the end result for all the above.
Yeah,
it is a strong M&A market, strong merger and acquisition market.
Because you have your exit when
exactly.
Yeah.
Without these big companies, big techs, big groups which are willing to buy smaller companies which are promising, the first investors will not put money. The ecosystem will not be there. The talent will not find. So the whole merger and acquisition ecosystem in US is second to none. There's no other place in the world that have this amount of money, this amount of big corporation who are willing to buy. Just look at how many companies were acquired in the last 6 months by the big five: Apple, Google, Meta, Amazon, and Elon Musk group. You are talking about tons and tons of money being thrown into merger and acquisition. This is enough to support a big ecosystem, and it cannot be replicated easily.
One of the things I wanted to kind of dive into is the AI space. Obviously, AI is synonymous with everything now. I recently went to GITEX, and every startup was an AI startup. I think it's a label that you need to have. But if we talk about real AI that you're working with, you mentioned generative AI, and you mentioned how it can really make you become a superhuman. For entrepreneurs who's setting up their businesses right now, for the entrepreneur who's been in business for a few years but gone, they've kind of plateaued because maybe they've grown so fast and their processes haven't really hasn't kept up with the business. How would you approach that? What kind of advice would you give to entrepreneurs in terms of how to use generative AI? And obviously you do over and above, obviously the likes of ChatGPT. What kind of advice could you give?
Every now and then we get a technology upgrade to around us, which is either incremental, but few times in history we got a transformative technology advancement. So maybe in my lifetime, I'll think of the days we had a PC which we can take home. This was a big move when we started having these PCs which you can do your work on wherever, even at home, and this was transformational. The second transformation was the internet. Internet coming to and having this information highway, you can work and consume information from all over the world. And maybe the third transformation is the smartphone, which changed a lot of things. And now generative AI, I can argue it is even more than all of that. So I didn't even mention SaaS because they are just one, or the cloud, because they are one just step from the internet. But
they're an extension of the internet.
But the AI is changing everything. Let me say it in this way: it's changing how we are interacting with the technology, and it's changing what the technology can do for us. And especially when you put this AI on a piece of a hardware, like a robot or a drone or autonomous vehicle, it will change everything. And we are living in a transformational transition now, which we don't grasp yet its impact and its extent, but it is very, very, very deep. It is a wave. Smart entrepreneurs will be able to take it. But here's the argument. The core AI stuff are now totally overtaken by the big boys, by OpenAI, by Anthropic, what Amazon is doing, what Google is doing, what Elon Musk is doing. The question that entrepreneurs are struggling, do I have a chance against them? In California, we are having tons and tons of new AI.
Here you're talking about the entrepreneurs who are setting up their own kind of AI startup, right?
Yep. Here's the argument. If you are into building your own AI module, make sure either you are building something that can fit into the bigger blueprint of one of the big guys to sell it quick, because you will not live, your startup will not live enough to find its own position. So this is one. Or if you are building a product that can be on the top of one of the big AIs, but make sure that you are technology agnostic. You can move whatever you are building from, for example, OpenAI to Google to Grok to Llama without being under the mercy of one of these big people. Number three, use AI to fast pace whatever you are doing, or to lower the cost of what you are doing. You need to be in one of these three buckets. If not, you are missing out, and you might, whatever you are doing might be irrelevant very, very, very soon.
Yeah.
In California, I was working with multiple startups, which started early building some products on some existing AI models, some existing LLMs, and they tried to take it to the market. All of them are hitting bottlenecks now because the frontier models like the OpenAI, the Claude Sonnet 3.5, or Google, or Grok, or Cloud, or whatever, they are advancing so fast and eating up a lot of other ideas that can be built. You need to be smart enough to understand where the trend is going and what are the gaps that you can fill. Ideal situation is to marry a certain subject matter or a market expertise with AI. It depends on what you are trying to do, and take to the market something which this frontier model cannot replicate, or offer a service empowered by AI and much faster, cheaper, and better. To do that, you need to be a master of your area and to see exactly how to use it. If you are not there or that, just use AI to lower your basic costs. So
these are for the humble entrepreneurs.
Exactly. So for example, I had a company in Ohio I'm working with. I helped them to build their whole marketing process around AI and save them to hire a bunch of people for their marketing department. So their team are not marketeers, but I help them to do their marketing thing just with AI. I'm working with a government entity here in UAE now to help them implement generative AI in their thing. And today I got a text message from a guy who said, "You helped me finish a project that we had scheduled for the coming 2 to 3 months to finish in a couple of days." So you can find ways to use AI to lower your cost, to make your deliverables cheaper, better, and faster.
Yeah, I also think that talent is very difficult to come by. In the accounting industry, you know, in the US particularly, there's a shortage of CPAs. So I think with AI coming in, it's not necessarily just going to be do the job better. It's we don't have enough accountants or marketers.
Yep.
So we need
tax
it.
advisors, wealth managers.
And I think that is going to be part of the wave as well. The fact that it's not just that it's a nice to have, it's you have to have it regardless.
One of the sectors that will disappear very, very soon is call centers and call center agents. The AI is becoming very, very good. It's practically today can replace a call agent, which this guy who pulls you and tell you wait until he or she figure out an answer to a question. This is not needed anymore. So today you can use one of these frontier models to run a complete call center. So this is what we will see. Another advice for entrepreneurs who run a service business similar to you is, okay, maybe it's not yet ready for me to create a full accountant AI, but I can add value to my customers using AI. For example, you are doing the accounting. Your average accountant is good in bookkeeping, is know how to use the accounting software very well, and just generate whatever reports the software allow. With AI, now you can put an additional layer of analysis and insights out of this accounting report in such a way you are adding value to your customer, saying, okay, I'm not only finishing your accountant, but I'm giving you some advice on how to improve your cost. I'm showing you some data, showing where there are areas of improvement. If there is a trend, I'm telling you about it, etc., etc. So that you are adding some layers of insights through analyzing the data of the client without really need an analyst. You don't need an upgrade to the talent you have. Just let them know how to use generative AI and they can do it.
No, 100%. I completely agree. And we're actually working with a Lebanese startup, and they're doing something on that. They're called 𝗀𝗲𝗀𝗲𝗀. So shout out. We'll be working with them to do something like that. I wish there was an AI to deal with difficult customers. But I haven't seen one yet.
At least for call centers, at least the AI will be getting you the information, and it will take out the need to press 1 for that, press 2 for this, press 2 for that, because the AI agent will start a conversation with you directly, know what you want, and answer you directly whatever you want to know.
Yeah, no, super interesting. So Malek, you've been in entrepreneurship for a long time. You mentor entrepreneurs. You work with startups, you work with government agencies, you work with large companies. So you kind of done the whole cycle from an entrepreneur point of view. What I'm really interested to know about is, what are the key lessons that you've learned? 1 or 2 key lessons that you've learned in your career as an entrepreneur. I think for myself, people is very, very important to business. For me, I've been through lots ups and downs as an entrepreneur. And I think mindset is very, very important. You should celebrate your wins and not get too down on your losses. But you got to keep going. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But from your point of view, what would you say is 1 or 2 things that you would that you've learned that you would want to kind of share with the audience?
Yes. So the main 2 things I would like to share now is, first, surround yourself with the right people.
That's a good one.
People who are above you, people who are with you, and people who are beneath you. The second, recognize when things are changing. Let me elaborate a little bit. So the first thing to start, I cannot emphasize how the importance of choosing the right co-founders, the right partners. I can argue that finding business partners are as difficult and crucial as finding your life partner. You date a dozen of people until you find the right person. Same thing. You need to keep looking until you find the right partners. And the main reason why startup fail is co-founders not congruous. They are going into conflict, or they cannot go along with each other, etc. Or at a certain point they have two different directions. Co-founders disagreement is the main reason why companies fail. Second, your first team, who you are hiring, those are the people who really either help you deliver whatever good idea you have or not. And this extends to your suppliers, to your contractors, etc. All the people around you. These are very important to pick and choose the right ones. Number three, your customers. Your early customers. Either they will be a part of your success stories, or they will be the ones who block you from a success story for many reasons. So the people around you, choosing the people around you are critical. If you are desperate, you will go for a lot of bad decisions. Choose the people right. So this is the first key advice. The second thing is recognize when things are changing. And I myself fell into this. So here's the story. All entrepreneurs will start. If they fail, they failed. They are out. If they succeeded, they will succeed because they figured out something, and this thing helped them to turn whatever they are doing into success. And they will go into this delusion that if I kept doing whatever made my first success, I will continue growing my success. But little they know that what got them to success at an early stage might not be the same thing that will get them to success in a scaling up stage, for example, or penetrating a new market, for example, or another product, etc. So whatever got them to success at an early stage might not be similar to another. And when situation change and you will not be able to recognize that what you have done to meet your success back then will not work then, this is a big thing. And I fell into this. I fell in multiple mistakes. I thought that what made me hit success in Dubai will be the same in Qatar, same in Saudi. I learned that the hard way. I thought that what brought me to success in Dubai will make me always successful. And when expanding my business, I didn't understood that it's a different success criteria, different key success factors at a larger scale than a smaller scale. And I need to adopt. Having the right people around you, especially mentors, will help you understand and maybe slap you to say, hey, you are doing something wrong. Go back and think about it. And you need a mentor that will tell you are wrong. Stop. You are making a mistake.
No, I relate to that because I came in 2016, right? And 2016 was just when everyone who came in 2005, 2006, they grew their businesses and they were doing really well. And then it started to plateau because obviously Dubai was getting a bit more mature, right? It was now becoming a proper economy in a sense that it's more diversified. And I remember a lot of entrepreneurs I spoke to, they were saying, they weren't happy about the situation. They weren't happy about the fact that what was successful 5 years ago is no longer working now. And I asked them quite deep questions about why they think that is. And then I look into what they're doing as a business. and they're not like providing the best service. Their marketing efforts are shambolic. They're hiring the wrong people, right? That worked, as you said, as we mentioned, 10 years before, but you have to up your game, and 100% I resonate with what you said, and thank you for sharing your insights
absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
Malek, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for coming down to the podcast. Every session I have with you, I always learn multiple things from you, and you've obviously mentored my team as well, and they even now they talk about the things that you spoke about, in some of the sessions that we had with you. But before we wrap up, what exciting projects are you working on? How can our crowd reach you? I know you're in between LA and California and Dubai. What projects do you want to kind of talk about that you're working on?
Yeah, what always excites me is working with smart, motivated entrepreneurs who are just starting their business. Either they have a good idea and they want help in taking it to a product, to the market, or to find their go-to-market strategy, or to build their first team, or they proved success at a small scale and they want to see, okay, how can I scale up my company and how I can build the right systems in place to respond to a larger operation and move from a small startup team into a company. I enjoy working with these type of projects. You can add me to your LinkedIn, Malek Moubasher, or reach me on my email, malek@mentor-gc.com, and I'm happy to help. Even if you just want a conversation, I can easily jump into a Zoom call and spend half an hour just listening to you and give you my advice.
Is that a special offer for our audience?
Yes, Rayhan. It's a special offer for you. Let's just mention that you are with the Rayhan podcast, and I'm happy to help.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Rayhan, for having me.
Thank you for joining us on the Alphapreneurs podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please subscribe and give us a 5-star rating and a review. Your feedback is appreciated. For show notes and more, check out the link in the description and connect to me directly on LinkedIn and search for Rayhan Aleem. See you in the next episode.